these reforms that people fought for turning over into the system we had before, which was deadly and unfair to workers and bad for the environment and had all these negative aspects. They're just, the eyebrows are raised, saying like, let's be careful and let's keep an eye on how this reform rolls out.
And we know you will be too. That's WNYC's Liam Quigley. You can read more of Liam's coverage about the city's ongoing reforms to the commercial trash industry. It's at our news site, Gothamist. Liam, thank you.
Thank you.
WNYC is supported by the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, helping public radio advance journalistic excellence in the digital age. The Knight Foundation believes informed and engaged communities are essential for healthy democracy. More at kf.org.
On the next Fresh Air, Grammy-winning songwriter, performer, and producer Pharrell Williams. The new Pharrell biopic, Piece by Piece, is animated and made entirely of Legos. It covers his childhood in Virginia Beach, his collaborations with artists like Jay-Z, Britney Spears, and Beyonce, and his synesthesia. Join us. Weekdays at 2 on WNYC or live stream it at WNYC.org.
On the next Brian Lehrer Show, the writer and historian Kenneth C. Davis. You may know him as author of the Don't Know Much About History series. Now he's got a book describing 52 works of great short nonfiction. That's one a week for a year in this age of short attention spans. Maybe it'll help keep people reading books. Also, our climate story of the week. The Brian Lehrer Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on WNYC.
Later on the morning edition, the mayor of a small Mexican town has been assassinated after only 1 week in office. We'll get the latest from the region as cartel violence continues to spiral out of control. That's in about 15 minutes on WNYC. 56 and clear, increasing clouds, and 70 for a high today. We have a slim chance of showers overnight, 54 for a low. And then tomorrow, a slight chance of early afternoon showers. We'll have some clouds, but we'll also have some sunshine and a high of 67. Even cooler on Thursday in the low 60s. 56 and clear now. It's 6:52. Thanks for tuning in this morning.
Chances are your flat screen is informing on you.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Clear Channel Outdoor, an out-of-home billboard company harnessing innovation and technology to connect advertisers with consumers. Billboardsforbusiness.com. And by Rubrik. When cyber attacks put businesses at risk, Rubrik provides the power to bounce back fast. More at Rubrik.com.
I'm David Brancaccio. First, as you're hearing, that hurricane headed for and across Florida starting tomorrow could strike near Tampa Bay. Flood insurance can be expensive, it can be unavailable, or for too many it can seem like a bad deal for those who don't live on the coast but who can still face high water. Here's Marketplace's Nova Safo.
Experts say homeowners generally overlook the risk of flooding when buying insurance because in most places it's not a big risk. Only 6% of homeowners carry flood insurance, according to the Insurance Information Institute. But during major storms, huge amounts of rain in a short period and storm surges can cause a lot of damage. During Hurricane Helene, in parts of Florida's coast, including the Tampa Bay region, storm surges reached 8 feet. They could reach as much as 15 feet with Hurricane Milton. Standard homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage, but people can purchase supplemental coverage from the National Flood Insurance Program, either directly or through insurance companies. Without flood insurance, homeowners could be left with nowhere near the resources they need to recover. For example, the Insurance Information Institute says after Hurricane Harvey in Houston, FEMA's average payout was just $3,000. I'm Nova Safo for Marketplace.
Ever have to wait for your smart TV to apparently update its software? It can be your data going out to points unknown. Our connected smart TVs are monitoring what we're watching, perhaps as intently as we watch them. That's according to a new report from the Center for Digital Democracy, a consumer privacy group. Marketplace's Nancy Marshall-Genzer reports.
You know the drill. You see an app for free TV. You download it, agreeing to the fine print without really reading it. Thing is, the Center for Digital Democracy report says you are paying a price for that free TV. You're giving them lots of data. Even TV you pay for that doesn't have commercials scoops up your information, says Jeff Chester, the co-author of the report and executive director of the center. And Chester says connected TVs are the key advertising battleground for candidates in the 2024 elections.
They know so much about individuals today. They know who we are, what we do, when we watch, the best time to reach us.
Chester says streaming video networks and smart TV manufacturers are creating digital dossiers on viewers based on what they watch and buy. Chester is asking the Federal Trade Commission, Federal Communications Commission, and the state of California to better regulate the connected TV industry. I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer for Marketplace.
Yesterday, the S&P and the NASDAQ each closed down about 1%. This, as a strong job market suggests, interest rates might come down more slowly, but don't forget it also suggests a recession is not around the corner. This morning, S&P futures are up 0.3%.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Schwab. With Schwab investing themes, people can invest in ideas they believe in, like artificial intelligence, renewable energy, pet passion, and more. Over 40 themes to choose from. More at schwab.com. And by Amazon Business, focused on offering smart business buying solutions, leaving time to focus on growth. More at amazonbusiness.com. And by C3 Generative AI, verified traceable answers, secure, hallucination-free, LLM-agnostic, IP liability-free C3.ai. This is Enterprise AI.
We're coming up on 1 year since Microsoft finalized the largest video game deal ever, $68 billion for Activision Blizzard. Blizzard is World of Warcraft and many more. The company has made headlines for its creative drive, its mega hits, one big flop, and a culture that was swashbuckling and sometimes toxic. Jason Schreier, a Bloomberg News reporter, has a new book out today with the history. It's called Play Nice, The Rise, Fall, and Future of Blizzard Entertainment. Jason, hi.
Hello, David. It's a pleasure to be here.
How does all this start, and how big does Blizzard get? Give me a sense.
Oh, man. So Blizzard starts in 1991 with two guys, really just graduated college, and it grows into what I would call an empire with thousands of staff, millions of players, and billions with a B of dollars.
They're not called Blizzard in the early years. They're called something else with chaos in their name, but that also applies to the style of management, it seems.
It's very chaotic. When you're two college students starting a company that grows and grows and grows, you learn pretty quickly that, like, oh, we have to have HR. Turns out we have to actually run a company, which I think it took them a long time before they got to that point.
On the way up, you get Warcraft. I think the early versions of that were not massive multiplayer global extravaganzas. You played the game on your computer.
Unlike a lot of other video game companies, which were run by business folks, this was a company that was run by people who love playing games. And so a lot of their output was motivated by what they were playing. And in around 1999, a lot of the folks at Blizzard were playing a game called EverQuest. I think the news used to call it EverCrack because it was so addictive. And so since they were all playing EverQuest, they decided, hey, why don't we just make our own version of this? Their most wildest, most optimistic projections was like, maybe we can reach 1 million subscribers. EverQuest had 500,000. Maybe we can double that. Took a year and they had 5 million subscribers. By 2008, 2009, they were up to 12 million subscribers, each paying monthly to play this game. So the amount of money is just mind-boggling.
There's this notion that you write about crunch. When it gets close to deadline, people work crazy hours. Now, people listening to us will go, well, I work crazy hours when I'm close to deadline. This seems to be, in the video game industry, we're talking about something times 3 or 4.
It was one of those scenarios. Imagine your boss is telling you, all right, we're 2 weeks away, and that lasts for a year. So it really can be tragic for people. But on the flip side, you also talk to people and some of them are like, you know what? For me, it was kind of exhilarating. So I think people have a lot of conflicting feelings about that kind of work culture, but it has changed. Very few companies are like that these days.
The book is called Play Nice. Jason Schreier is the author. Thank you so much.
Thanks, David. It's a pleasure.
So The Rise, we'll also talk about the fall and the future for a company that is to video games what Warner Brothers or MGM were to movies. More of that interview and all of our Skin in the Game coverage is porting over to marketplace.org. Skin in the Game, what video games can teach us about business, economics, and culture. I'm David Brancaccio, Marketplace Morning Report from APM, American Public Media.